Hello there. This video will be a little different. I wanted to talk about a game that I don't think gets appreciated enough. A game called Thomas Was Alone. This game has sat in my library for a long time, neglected a bit. I bought it a long time ago, and didn't think anything of it. I thought, okay, another day, I'll play it. Didn't really put much thought into that. Then my PlayStation Plus subscription ended temporarily. I had nothing to play at that moment, while I waited for a scrape to get a bit of cash. And I saw, okay, I got this game, out of the very few games I actually own. So I decided to play it. And thought, okay, let's give it a try. And little I know, it'd have quite an impact on me. This game, I call it better than anything else I played this year. By far, even a stretch to even say the previous year too. This game is a near masterpiece, in my opinion. Something that's so simple explains something so complicated. It does this first by personifying its characters, which is a series of squares and rectangles. Immediately, this is probably what turns off most people when they first look at this, because it looks so basic that there's almost nothing to it. It's only when you start playing it does the charm start appealing to you. The British humor, the very soothing voice of the narrator, and as you play the game itself, the characters start to come out. They start to shine. Like for instance, the very first character you control, Thomas. In the beginning, he was simply alone. He did not know what to do with himself. Only know he had one goal: to get to the end of each portal. And it kept getting more and more complicated from there. As other people got introduced, people disappeared, and other things happened. The script is just wonderful. Where I think most other games would struggle to tell the story happening in this game does it quite easily and more convincingly in many parts. And I appreciate it a lot for what this is. That you can take something so simple and explain something very complicated that most AAA games with a $1 million budget can't even do properly. Quite a masterpiece, in my word. Now, I'm aware I'm not the first one to talk about this, or maybe I am. I have looked around, and no one of great attention ever talked about this game. Never actually sat and said how it made them feel, how it affected them. Oh, you see Jacksepticeye, very popular YouTuber, but he only simply played the game to my knowledge. I only watched one or two of them, but it was a simple playthrough. It didn't do the game justice. I can tell that this game had a very, very careful developer. They actually took the time, they sat, they talked, like any other developer, but they took careful time to consider what they were making. They must have all went through many revisions or many plot twists, many story arcs that could have been done. But I'm going to talk about the controls. Well, the controls are excellent. They look blocky, but it handles so well. It's always the one thing that some games fail on, but I think this game did it right. And also the level design. It's both simple yet challenging. I love this aspect. That not one part of the game that I feel like I was stuck and I didn't know what to do. I often knew what to do, just how to do it was the question. Again, a thing that games need to do more of. This is about one of the many things that I appreciate about this game. About halfway through this game, things change. You give off the once peaceful and rather happy story turns to more of a depressing one, where people disappear. Now, if death in video games having characters disappear, I'm no stranger to it. Ever since I watched Chrono Die and Chrono Trigger, or even Aerith in Final Fantasy VII so many years ago, it's almost become numb to me, as it's just another plot twist. You don't normally think, or even care, what usually happens. Yet, when it happens so abruptly, and Thomas without warning, when things seem at the top, at the height of where nothing can go wrong, it did. And I felt a little dumbstruck and silent even, not knowing what to think or even feel on the subject. The first game that made me actually care in a long time about what happened, what will happen next. And it was a little hard to even play. And one by one, everyone disappeared, and I thought, is this how it ends? Is that how it goes out? Which is not the case. It's far from the case, but I thought carefully that no game has done that. No script or storyline has done that in any media for me for years, maybe even decades. A decade, maybe. Not that old. But such a strong effect, and I look at this game, it's just a series of blocks. That's what it still is. It's quite something. That I can hold that on the same playing field as something as two timeless classics as Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Trigger. I managed to capture that same effect for me. Can't say that it's better than those two games. Well, nostalgia blindness and whatnot. That's arguable, not to mention two very different genres. But for careful script writing and thought, I'm willing to put them both, or all three of them even, on the same playing field for quality. Because that's how much care was taken into building this. So it was amazing. And finally, I'll talk about the music. All the music in this video is all in-house from this game. Wonderfully done by Dave Houston Music Studios. Brilliantly done. I liked it so much that I went out to this site and seen if I can grab any more, and found more tracks that I love also. Very relaxing soundtrack. It's what's needed for a puzzle game. You can't have something intense, you can't have something too passive. It just sets the mood just right for this game. Where the pace is never rushed. You never feel a sense of urgency. You just know you'll eventually complete it when you figure out what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. With all various different between real instruments and synthetic ones. The mix is wonderfully done. Sounds seamless. Curve Studios has really made an excellent game that has gone, to my knowledge, unnoticed. That people, for the most part, ignored. Many people have played it, but I find very few wish to actually speak of their experience. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe someone else has. But they are too small, like me, to get noticed. So if I ever do get noticed, at least I'll have my thoughts put here. I think this game deserves a little bit better. And sure enough, I'm going to look out for what else Curve Studio game development have made. Because they done above and beyond job at this. I'll definitely put money down for whatever they made next, without a doubt in my mind. And that's my thoughts on Thomas Was Alone. Thanks for watching.